Hello, and welcome to the fifth episode of Permission to Be Pretty podcast. I am Dr. Unique Simpson, and as always, it is my pleasure to be before you on this day and on this platform. If you are new here, Permission to Be Pretty is a podcast aimed at giving ourselves permission to be powerful, real, emotional, transparent, teachable, and unique. So, we have spoken in depth about power, being powerful versus powerless. And so, it is only right that we get into being real. When I was first developing the acronym and what it is or was that I wanted us to focus on as far as giving ourselves permission, my first thought when it came to the word real was authenticity. And that is absolutely true. I still stand on that. I want us to give ourselves permission to be authentic. However, I want to get into another aspect of this on today, one that you all might not be expecting. Because when we typically talk about being real or being authentic, we are primarily speaking about how we show up in the world, how we show up with others, for others, to others, how we appear. I want to dig into the importance of being real to and for ourselves. Now, I do want to give this disclaimer, and it is that what I am going to speak about today is something that I am actively working on. Let me explain. I am very bold and very outspoken. However, I am a nurturer. I am a mother first. And so I do care. I will speak what thus saith the Lord, and I make no apologies, but my intent is never, ever to offend. I care deeply about people, about God's people, and about people whom I love, primarily my children. But my love runs deep, not just for my natural children, but for all of those that God has added to me. I have a fatal flaw, so to speak, where I try to be all things to all people. I try to be all things to all people. Now, I'm going to speak about myself quite a bit because I want you all to understand what it is that I'm saying. And shout out to my daughter, because as I try to articulate what it is that I do or how I'm feeling, she is very good at identifying exactly what it is. In fact, it is she who said, "Mommy, you try to be all things to all people." And I believe this is how it began. My being an orphan caused my children, the first generation behind me, to be orphans. And so they don't have a lot of family who are active in their lives. And so I have found myself trying to fill every void, not just a void, but every void. I find myself being a fixer, being supermom, and doing things that I don't always want to do. I will watch TV or watch a show or whatever have you, and I can be over it, right? I can have enough for the day, but I will stay sitting and engaging even when I do not feel like it, because whichever child I am sitting with in that moment, in my mind, they need the attention. And if I get up and walk away, they will be lonely or bored or whatever. I have another child who I have said for many years that I would indulge in their conversation even when I was uninterested. Now that sounds kind of harsh, but their conversation is just not on the level of where I find myself in life or where I want my child to be in their life. And so I hear all about their friends and all about the drama and just things that really don't matter. However, my stance for a very long time was I am going to sit and listen and just be grateful that my child is talking to me, because I want them to know that they can always talk to me. They have gone so far as to sometimes tell me things that my ears just don't want to hear, that my spirit just does not need to hear. But yet, I engage. One of my children said to me as we were having this discussion, she said, "Mommy, the reason why you are so tired is because you're trying to be all things to all people. You are trying to be all things to all people. I try to fill every void. I have found myself in situations where I'm late or I'm ripping and running or anxious or overworked or exhausted because I intend to give someone my undivided attention, because in moments I feel as though I don't want to abandon them. I grew up wishing that someone would see me, would care, would take time. And so I try to do that for people. I tend to say, call me anytime. I tend to say, whatever it is that you need, I'll be there. And it is my heart's desire. I'm not saying that it's not something that I desire to do. But can I realistically be all things to all people? And in my quest to be such, am I running myself in the ground? Physically, mentally, emotionally, sometimes spiritually. So I am actively practicing being real and honest with me, with myself, enough to admit when I just don't feel like it. I just don't want to, and it's okay. There are many things that I will do, not because I feel like it, because primarily I am an introvert and I require a lot of alone time. I need someone to hear me as you examine yourself and examine your own life. What do you require to recharge? Introverts, as I am learning, are not necessarily antisocial, but our method of recharging often requires solitude. I have to decompress. I have to recharge. It is the only way that I can do what I do and be who I am called to be. Because of this, I can become easily overstimulated, often because I overexert myself. We also, all of us, each and every one of us, operate on frequency. And I am actively learning and identifying what I need. What makes you tick? What keeps you going? What gets you going? What slows you down? What irritates you? What do you do that you actually have no desire to do at all? It's not my responsibility to sacrifice myself continually because of the absence of others. This realization for me is important. I am almost 50 years old. And how long am I going to continue trying to fill voids for my children who are now mostly adults? My comfort zone, my comfort space is sitting in solitude when I'm not working, and just even when I'm working, I will sit for hours. I will sit all day with my ear to heaven. That is where I am comfortable. That is my safe space. God, I need you. I need thee every hour. I'm not saying that I cannot be mom. I'm mom. And if you know me, that's the first thing that I've ever known to be true about me and about my purpose in life. I am a mother. I am a mother to a fault. I've been a mother since I was 16 years old. It is my greatest achievement, my greatest accomplishment, the part of me that I am most proud of. But mama just doesn't feel like doing everything all the time. I pray this resonates with you all. What are you doing that you don't really feel like doing? Who are you being to someone or to the people in your life that you don't really feel like being? What are you engaging in? What are you indulging in? What are you allowing in your system that does not bring positivity, strength, peace, healing, hope to your mind, to your body, to your faculties? Many women do this, but men also. Men also. I got it. I'm okay. You need help? I got you. You need this? I got you. Examine your life. How are you sacrificing yourself? How are you sacrificing your joy, your peace? How are you sacrificing your tranquility for others? Are you being real with you? Are you being real with others? Are you bold enough to? Do you know that it is okay to say, I do not feel like it? I do not want to. I have a child who has been in quite a few accidents, and every single time I come to the rescue. Okay, your car is down. I'll take you to work. I'll pick you up. You want to go here? You want to go there? You want to do this? You want to do that? You need my car. Sure, take it. And this last time, I decided that after many, many, and many times, I was just no longer interested in picking her up from work. I really had no desire to take her either, but I figured that I would compromise. And y'all, this apostle, doctor, mighty, bold woman of God took forever to get the nerve to tell this child, I'm not picking you up anymore. I will take you, but I'm not picking you up. It pained me. And I really had to get myself together to simply say, I'm not. Well, why? I just don't want to. I had to give myself permission to acknowledge what would work for me. Because at the time of day that she gets off work, I'm now having to stop everything that I'm doing, get in my car, fight through traffic to get her, fight through traffic to get back. It would then take hours. And I'm in Texas heat. I just didn't feel like it anymore. And I had a right to say, I just don't want to do it anymore. I got you. I sympathize. I empathize. I believe that after coming to the rescue a number of times, I can now reserve the right to say no. Are y'all hearing me? What are you doing? That's not your responsibility. What have you tacked on to your identity as a friend, as a parent, as a daughter, as a son, as a sibling, as a partner, as a leader? What have you attached to your role that has no business being attached to it? Be real with yourself. Identify what you need and what is unnecessary. Be real with you. I pray that I've given you something to think about. We go above and beyond. And I want to say this to you, you who are parents. What I've learned is that when we open doors, we are then responsible for closing them, because no one, and I was going to say our children, and because again, I preface this with parents, but this goes for anyone. When we open a door, we will then have to be the one to close it. Examine your life. Examine your roles. Examine your responsibilities. What have you tacked on? be real with you. You don't have to answer the phone. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to go out. You don't have to. And when people try to make you feel bad, oh, come on, you can't know. Especially at our big old ages, we have every right to be in control of us, to guard our peace, to maintain our frequency. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope again that it has resonated with you. I thank you for tuning in. Until next time, have a wonderful week. Give yourself permission to be real with you.